afternoon, Quilt Roadies. Thank you for stopping by. It is an kind of an overcast day. There actually looks like there's smoke way off in the mountains, but I'm kind of thinking it might be a controlled burn. Oregon is famous for their fall controlled burn to kind of keep down the fuel in the forest, and so they'll kind of gather it up into big piles all over the place, and then in late fall they'll start burning it, because I haven't heard about any fires, but it is truly spectacular. The trees are showing their fall colors, and so on Scouter's Mountain, which I see out my sewing room window, it's a mixture of pines and then the other trees that lose their leaves, and so it's fabulous. Today is not going to be about anything earth-shattering. I just wanted to hang out with you guys, and so I've got my stitching, so if you need to, you can put me on pause right now and go get your stitching, because I am tacking a binding down. I have to get this done before I leave on my trip. I'm taking a trip, and my sister's birthday is today, and so I made a table topper for her, and I'm tacking the binding down. But today is just going to be nothing earth-shattering. I just wanted company while I stitched. I've got my lunch. I made myself a smoothie with almond milk and banana and the powdered peanut butter and ice. Did I say banana? Yeah. Or what my middle grandson calls it, poteen powder. I want some poteen powder in my milkshake. Smoothie. And then I got some grapes from New Seasons grocery store, and look at the size of these suckers. I mean, they're bigger than my thumb. I mean, it makes you wonder what they did agriculturally to get these grapes that freaking big. They're huge. They're delicious, but they're humongous. So I have those. I have water, and I'm all ready for stitching. I have to tell you this funny thing. I tried to ignore this. I think I showed, like, maybe 2 or 3 videos back, a quilt that I made out of the French General fabrics, and I made I took this perfect, absolutely perfect, fun fabric for the backing, and I sewed the 2 strips together so it would be big enough for, because I was sending this off to my long arm quilter, and so I sewed the backing big enough like they would want. And then as soon as I got the 2 pieces of backing sewn together, I said, oh, I should have planned better. Because I didn't take into consideration, and this is something that you do. So you see how the squares aren't lined up? Yeah, I mean, down the middle of the backing, the squares are not lined up. And I thought to myself, I said, self, that's okay. That's okay. You can just do it. Leave it like that. But you should listen to that voice that keeps nagging at you, because you don't want to waste, you know, you don't want to waste the precious time in your life with that voice that's nagging at your brain. You just don't want to do it. You just need to, what is it, fish or cut bait? I don't know, something my dad used to say. And so, yeah, it's just, you know, it's off right down the center of the backing. It, I tried to. It sat on the chair here in the Beehive, and I tried to ignore it. And so I finally realized I was wasting way too much time on it. Just way too much time. And so I went back to Pioneer Quilts here in Portland, which is where I got the fabric, and I prayed. Now, mind you, it's like 3 or 4 weeks between the time I bought this, maybe over a month. And I was going, please, please let them have it. Please let them have it. And the reason that I was on I wanted a certain time frame is that I have a girlfriend that's coming to visit, and then we are actually taking a trip together, and I could conceivably save myself the postage, because I don't know if you have noticed it, but postage is off the charts. And so if I had the backing together, I could send it with her down to Central Oregon to my long arm quilter to do without having to pay for postage, you know. Yeah, I just didn't want to pay for postage on it. So, and I wasn't sure when the next time was that I was going to be able to get down there. So I went to Pioneer Quilts, and the whole time I was chanting on the way there, please have some left, please have some left. And the gal laughed at me because I walked into the shop. I didn't even stop to say hello. I walked directly back to the Finch General, and there it was on the bolt, and I took it. And so I took it up to the counter. She goes, well, you knew what you were wanting. And I said, oh, you don't know how relieved I feel, because I'm going to line those squares up correctly on the back. I just know, you know, I'm pretty sure that this quilt is going to end up being a gift for someone in the family. I don't know who, because I just love it. And sometimes, you know, don't you know that sometimes you make a quilt and you know, oh, you're going to make it for someone. You don't know who you're going to make it. You just needed to make it. And then you have to live with it a little while. You have to just look at it and enjoy it before it leaves your presence. And I was never organized enough to have taken pictures of all the quilts that I've made and gifted. I just never did that. I know there are people that have done that, and it's probably fabulous to be able to do that, but no, I was never organized enough to do that. So, where was I? So I took the bolt of fabric up to the counter, and then I said, it didn't look like there was a whole lot. So I said, how much is on there? And she said 3 3/8 yards. And they don't just cut it, they scissor cut it so it's, you know, it's straight, because it's all these pre-printed squares. And so then the decision came, do I buy the rest of the bolt, or do I leave some on the bolt for someone else? And then she said, oh, some people have been using these for hexies. Really? Really? And then to justify my buying the rest of the bolt, I said it would be cruel of me to buy like 2 yards of it and leave 1 3/8 yards left, and someone actually needed 2 or 3 yards, and it would be so painful to know that they were so close and they didn't have enough. So to spare the next shopper any pain, I said, I'll take the rest of the bolt. Yeah, because that's who I am. I'm kind and always thinking about that next quilter. Yeah, that's my story. That's my story. But hexies, oh my gosh. So today I'm going to be ripping apart this seam with my, and this is my, one of the fabric stockers, my quilt group in Bend, Oregon, turned me onto this Easy Ripper. It's So Wonderful Dreams in Coeur d'Alene, Idaho. It's a travel trimmer. It takes AA batteries, and rather than, you know, a regular manual seam ripper, you just turn this sucker on, and if you have any whiskers, you know, no, not really, you wouldn't do that, but you just are gonna, and you see how fast that's gonna be? I'm gonna be able to I'm gonna be able to rip this seam apart in no time. So, excuse me, if you see how fast that's going, I've already ripped that much off. So I'm going to do that. That'll take me not even 5 minutes. Easy Ripper. I'll try to find the link for them. And this is the table topper that I almost have the binding done on. I don't even know what pattern this is or what fabric. It was fabric out of my stash. And yeah, because she has a new little spot that she's living in Fargo, so it'll be nice little something to brighten up the Fargo winter. See if I can get this threaded. There we go. Well, I have to say a big thank you to Suzanne, who sent me, I'll have to look up where Wingdale is, sent me hexie fabrics out of her stash. Look at this. This is absolutely adorable. Who is this by? I just love this. Is this, oh, goody, it says it. This is Ray Ritchie for Dear Stella. Oh, I love Dear Stella. Dear Stella has so many great prints for hexies. But look at this. All these little motifs. I just love that little snail right there. And the camping lantern. It's just going to be great. Thank you, Suzanne. But here's the deal. She also sent me these pieces, you know, because they're chunks out of quilts that she's made. Look at that. Look at that owl. But what I'm so curious about is I would love to see the quilt that these pieces were left over from. Look at that. I mean, how fun. So that'll be my Suzanne hexie. Look at this grape. You have to eat it almost like you're eating an apple. It's so big. Yeah. Let's see, where's my needle? There we go. So that's what I have on the agenda today. If I can get to my sashiko coasters, I made one and sent it off to a friend of mine. I'm going to do that today too. I have been putzing around in here, cleaning it up, getting ready for friends to arrive. And so this will be the next video after this one that you see is will be Buttermilk Basin. Yes, I'm going to Buttermilk Basin. My friend Stacy, who is the brains and the designer, the heart behind Buttermilk Basin, is I'm gonna go to her shop after hours because our plane doesn't get in till late, and visit the new shop. I am so excited about visiting the new shop. I poked myself. So it'll be the first plane trip I've taken in a while. And then what did I watch yesterday? I've never seen this show before. And I've only seen 2 episodes now. I watched 2 episodes back to back last night. And it's called Manifest. Maybe not the best thing to watch when you're going to get on a plane. I was like, what the heck is this about? What the heck is this about? But now I'm kind of hooked. I wonder, you know, I'm hoping that it turns out okay. But see, that's the thing about a lot of TV shows. You get hooked on them, they get canceled. And for some reason, I'm thinking that maybe it's ran its course. I don't know. But yeah, I'm kind of hooked now. So glad this is I'm gonna be able to get this done today, get it packed. I gotta do laundry and packing. I'm notorious for last minute. I am so notorious for last minute. I mean, I don't think I ever studied for a final until the night before the test. It just, if anything was gonna stick in my brain, it would be, you know, it would have to be something I retrieved from the night before. Yeah. Are any of you like that? You know, last minute? I mean, I've been known to do laundry on the other end because we just want to take carry-on on the plane. I have to, I told my girlfriend, I said, I'll be bringing deodorant. She says, well, I have a washer and dryer. Because, you know, if you're going to go somewhere where you're going to be shopping and you only want to do carry-on. But, you know, I've done all over Europe. I've done China with carry-on. So I'm pretty efficient that way. But last minute, all the time, you know, if it's not stressful, it doesn't seem normal to me, I guess. And then I saw something. I saw, you know, I just love those TikTok videos. I can't, I mean, at least the ones that I watch are, I don't know if they're called TikTok videos, the ones on Instagram down below, the little video thing. I mostly watch animal ones, and then I follow some ADHD life coach ones, and I had to laugh because it's like it so hits the nail on the head. You know, here I should be packing, I should be doing laundry, I should be doing all the paperwork, the bills that I should pay before I leave. And here I am with you guys, and I'm stitching, and I was cleaning my sewing room, and it's just that nothing is. It's got to be a little chaotic to feel normal, I guess. Yeah. So, have any of you seen the new 007 movie? I, I, I'd like to see that, but not at the theater. Of course, I don't know if any theaters are opened around here. There actually is no theater in this town. Yeah, there's no movie theater here. You'd have to go to the next town. And it's like there's no post office here. They have a postal connection, but no actual post office here. You have to go to the next town. Yeah. I kind of bummed about missing my grandson day this week because he has a cold, and being that I'll be traveling and with my sister's grandchildren, I didn't want to take a cold back with me, and so we decided collectively to not have my grandson time this week, which is such a bummer to me. So that's just kind of like, yeah. I realized when I'm excited about going to Buttermilk Basin because I haven't seen the new shop. You know, the new shop opened during COVID, and I thought the old shop was absolutely adorable. And that video is someplace back on the Quilt Roadie site. Probably if you Googled Quilt Roadie's Buttermilk Basin, you'd get a tour of the old shop. But now the new shop, Stacy says, is the bang. And she's been sending me the Gnomes Through the Year, which is absolutely adorable. And I'm going to be starting that come January. I'm going to do one every month for 2022. And so I have them all stacked up, and I realized in the pile that I don't have January. So I'm going to pick January up when I'm back there so that I can start each month. And then my intention is to get a little tree, like a little kind of Christmas tree type thing, and have them hanging on there here in the Beehive. But you talk about the cost of things. When I was at Costco, they had a beautiful tall Christmas tree, and I told G, I said, "Do you see that tree over there? That we have to do artificial trees because of my allergies. It causes me asthma, and so for several years we've had artificial trees, and now compared to the old days, they look so realistic. But there was this beautiful tall, and we have high ceilings, this tall Christmas tree for sale at Costco, artificial, $900. $900. No way, no way. There was no way I was going to be doing that, but everything is so much more expensive. And then I had another money thing happen. You remember the that story about the trying to get some cash from the grocery store? Well, I was at a different grocery store and I decided to get some cash back. Yeah, I'm beginning to think, I know some of you say you shouldn't be using your grocery store as a bank, but the bottom line is in the town that live in, and I live on a knob, my bank doesn't have a bank. In fact, there's only a couple of banks in here, and the two banks that we use neither have a place here. So I would have to go into Portland. So I just wanted to have a little cash in my pocket. So I got cash back from the grocery store, and in his till, he only had one $20 bill, and he had to give me the rest in fives. Very strange. And then this week, I was taking G for his flu shot, and there were all these people in line. The store hadn't even opened yet. It's Costco. Hadn't even opened yet. And I thought, oh, they're all in line to get the flu shot. But in actuality, G was the first one in line. And it was a run on toilet paper again. Really? Toilet paper. Many of you use these binding clips, these little red plastic clips. I have a strip that is from IKEA. You can mail order it. It's from IKEA, and it's for spices, and it has these containers like that are magnetic on the bottom. And so I fill them, like this particular one has my clips in. Well, I'm back. Yeah, my battery went dead. So I can't even remember where I was at. I can't remember. But while the camera was getting partially charged up, I finished the binding on the table topper. I really should be doing laundry and packing, but this had to get done too. But I also finished ripping out the back of the French General quilt and attaching an additional piece of fabric to the bottom and re-sewing the whole thing. And I cannot tell you how much better I feel. I know that there are some of you that can just roll with the punches, but part of my brain won't do that. It'll keep bugging me and bugging me and bugging me, and I try to be okay with stuff, but when something really is like, I can't relax with it. And so having bought the fabric, I started to feel better. And then when I started ripping it out on this video, I felt even better. And now the back is perfect, absolutely perfect, and ready to go to my long arm quilter, Sandy. So instead of doing laundry, I And since I was in here, I said I should be working. I should do my sashiko. Oh, let me get the paper. Um, my sashiko coasters, and it's this really adorable collection. It was easy to. I'm trying to remember if this was. No, it wasn't pre-printed, but I just used a chalk pencil, and I don't think it was pre-printed. It doesn't look pre-printed. But I got this whole kit at the Stitch and Post in Sisters, and it was it had the fabric, it had the instructions, and you turn them into adorable little coasters. And I'm here to tell you, sashiko is by far, I mean, truly, more than anything else in the cross-stitching or quilting world, it is the most relaxing. If you're doing traditional sashiko, you are using Egyptian cotton thread, which is so soft. You're just doing a running stitch, and your only agenda is to try to be consistent, and that's it. And so these are my sashiko coasters. And you talk about an easy project to do. It's, yeah. So now, to turn them into coasters, I cut them all out to the size I wanted, which was a 5-inch square, and then I cut my fusible batting. I put the batting on the back, and I cut out my backing fabric, and I have a whole stash of Asian fabrics, and all I'm going to do is put right sides together, and it's basically like enveloping a quilt. So I'm just going to sew a 1/4-inch seam all the way around, leaving a little opening. I'm going to turn it inside out, and then I'm going to top stitch it, and if I need to, I'll slip stitch where the opening is, and then I have a nice padded coaster. It's yeah, I need to get back into my sashiko, because it truly is that part of my handwork life that is the most relaxing. When you want to have a quiet mind, sometimes trying to do something a little more complicated just adds to the chaos that's in there, and so sashiko is perfect. And I have many sashiko projects, which this winter will be a great time for sashiko projects. But I decided to go in my stash, and I found some great Asian prints, and I'm going to make these all the same, and make my coasters. They make great little gifts too, because they're just awesome little gifts. Well, it was a little bit, because the battery died, it was a little bit of a cluster, but I am really excited about seeing the new shop, Buttermilk Basin, and when I get back from that adventure, I think we're going to have some great time together, because I'm going to really hunker down and start working on some UFOs and whips that exist in here. There's quite a bit to challenge me, and I have a baby quilt to make before the end of the year, and I'm just kind of looking around to reorient myself, and I just really want to do some more wool stitching. Someone asked me on a Zoom about this particular project, which, see that? I mean, the whole top is basically done. It's just the border, the wool border needs to be hand stitched. And that's a really, you're gonna just do a whip or a buttonhole stitch. And so that could be a very, very relaxing stitch to do. So I'm gonna work on that one and see if I can get that going. Yeah, this needs to be done and made into a pillow. The reindeer, you don't see that one, but it's a giant reindeer pillow. There's just a lot to have fun with, and we're going to do that this late fall and winter. It'll be a totally different environment for us here. It's a lot wetter. Everything blooms here. It's just amazing. It's just amazing. I went in the backyard a couple days ago and picked raspberries and ate them. They were just right there, and picked up some carrots, and I'm really enjoying the garden, because that's more challenging on the other side of the mountain. So I'm very much enjoying how wonderful the garden is. But there's going to be a lot more rain than I am used to. So that will be something that will make me stay inside and get some projects done. Yes. So thank you so much for stopping by and dealing with the little bit of confusion there when the battery died, but you know, that's the way it goes. That's the way the cookie crumbles, huh? And next video will be Buttermilk Basin's new shop. Oh, can't wait. Can't wait. Let's see what that girl is up to, okay? You guys take care. We'll see you, and I love you lots.